show the audience. I don't think it's that slow.
Okay. There's the audience.
And the camera person. Hello, everybody. My name is David Castle. Thanks for coming. Today I'm going to talk to you about cybersecurity. We're going to go over why you should care, the threats that you face, and how you can protect yourself. So, why should you care about cybersecurity? Many people think they're not targets, and criminals probably wouldn't target you, but like most criminals, cyber criminals are looking to exploit weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Who do you think is more vulnerable, you or Citibank? And these are some of the ways that cyber criminals will take advantage of you. Ransomware. This is an image of some scareware that was going around for a while. It threatens the user with imprisonment unless they pay a fine, which I don't think that's how the FBI works. There have been some pretty serious consequences because of this one. A 17-year-old kid in England got this on their computer, and they thought the FBI was coming for them, so he hung himself. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And a lot of people fall for this stuff. It's not too hard to get off of your computer, but at the same time, you know, it just scares people who don't know any better. The next type of ransomware that you might run into is called crypto locker. That's one variety of an encryption type of malware. Crypto locker will encrypt your specific files on your computer, like documents and pictures, and then the only way you can get them back is to pay them $100 in this case. And it has an encryption key that only they have, and if you don't pay them within 3 days or so, they'll erase the key. And it's really, really hard to unencrypt your data after that. It'll take your regular desktop computer over 1 million years to work out the encryption key on its own. And then the other reason why they might target you, botnets. All right, botnet turns your computer into a zombie.
There you
go. Right now, millions of computers are infected with malware that gives attackers access to their computer resources. And they'll use your computer to produce and distribute spam and other malware. They'll also use your computer resources, to conduct denial of service attacks. So they'll just flood a website with a bunch of requests, and then their website won't be able to handle all the requests, and it'll go down. And criminals will sell portions of their botnet to other criminals and use those resources to conduct these kinds of attacks. All right, next up, identity theft. All right, so criminals don't just want your financial information. They do want those things. They are interested in getting your social security number, things like that, but they also just want access to your digital ID. You know, if they can get access to your Facebook account, and then they have access to your friends list. And they can also pretend to be you and post links to malicious websites. And then I'm also interested in, I don't know, sport bikes or something. My friend posts a link about sport bikes. I click on it, and it takes me to a website where there's some malicious software on it. And let's see. The same with if they do get access to your Gmail account or your Facebook account, well, they might try that password that they used on your Gmail account. And a lot of people use the same password for everything, and they'll be able to get to your Gmail too. Sometimes if criminals can get your information, they'll bundle it together with maybe 10,000 others, and then they'll sell all of them as a big database to someone who's interested in buying them. And they'll sell them for like $1 an email account, you know. So they might get 10,000 bucks. All right, so you are under constant attack. You can read the quote there. Two kinds of people in America today: those who have experienced a cyber attack and know it, and those who have and don't know it. This is pretty true. It sounds like hyperbole, but there really are threats out there, and people are interested in getting your information. The first one we're going to look at is phishing. Everybody's heard about phishing here anyway. Maybe not necessarily everyone, but this is one of the most successful forms of attack, actually. It's the easiest way for criminals to get your information is for them to ask for it and you to give it to them. And lots of people fall for that. All right, so let's take a look at one of these emails. This is an email claiming to be from PayPal. The first thing you'll notice is it says, "Dear PayPal valued member." If PayPal writes you an email, it's going to have your name in it. They know who you are. Also, the second P in PayPal is lowercase, and that's not how they spell their name. The next thing to look at is this warning. There's a consequence or a dire threat that you need to pay attention to or be aware of. And then this is the consequence. Your account will be suspended. And the last thing to note, next to last thing to notice is just some really bad grammar here. This notification expires on 48. That doesn't make any sense. I'm sure PayPal's full of professional people who know how to write an email. And then the last thing, which I didn't highlight because I actually didn't notice it until recently, the link at the bottom, the hyperlink at the bottom says it'll take you to their PayPal account or the PayPal login screen, but it actually redirects you to some other IP address, and it's not even secure shell. More cyber attacks against you. Clickbait. We've all seen this stuff, right? This all came off of my Yahoo front page, just a bunch of junk. The goal here is to get people to click on their website, and then you go there and it might have malicious content on it. It's not that these websites necessarily intend to be malicious, but skilled hackers can inject malicious code into their website. Even more. Malware. This is a lot of stuff. Everybody's seen this stuff. Trojans are usually disguised as something and then do something else, or they come kind of as a package with other software. Interesting sort of note. For this class, I had to download a Bluetooth scanner, and the website that the book directed you to was no longer active. I downloaded their software from another website. I Googled the name of the software. I downloaded and installed it, did the project, and then as soon as I closed the software, Windows started coming up saying, the default program for this application has changed, the default program for this file has changed. Fortunately, before I install anything, I set up a system restore point so that I can just roll back to the system restore point, and that's what I did to keep myself out of trouble there. Spyware, this collects data about your online activity. You sometimes will hear about like cookies. Cookies are debatable. It's debatable whether they're actual spyware or not. Spyware is usually like some kind of software, whereas cookies are just like notepad documents. They're not, you can't really use them for anything really bad, but they do track your activity on the internet. Worms, they're standalone. They don't need to be, turned on in any way. They sort of exist in the network, and they spread by replicating themselves in your memory, and then